Good morning, students. I am Sangeeta, lecturer in chemistry, branch general section, Institute GPT Narayankhed, semester 1, subject general engineering chemistry, subject code 18C104F. Our major topic is water technology, and our subtopic is osmosis and reverse osmosis. Let us recollect what we have discussed in last class. What we have discussed in last class, we have discussed essential qualities of drinking water and municipal treatment of drinking water. So once again, I will revise this one, essential qualities of drinking water. So what are the essential qualities of drinking water? So first of all, what is meant by drinking water? The water which is fit for drinking is called as drinking water. So these are the some of the essential qualities here. It should be colorless, odorless, and tasteless. It should be free from suspended impurities like mud particles. It should be free from dissolved salts like nitrates, phosphates, etc. It should be free from dissolved poisonous metals like mercury, arsenic, cadmium, etc. It should be free from dissolved gases like H2S, CO2, SO2, etc. It should be free from disease-causing microorganisms like bacteria, fungi, virus, etc. Turbidity of water should not exceed 10 ppm. Hardness should be less than 200 ppm. The pH of water is in between 7 and 8. Fluoride should be less than 3 ppm. So these are the essential qualities of drinking water. And come to the treatment of water for drinking purpose. So here, so whatever the water you are getting from the different sources, so that directly is not used for drinking purpose, that contains some impurities. Those impurities are removed from water before drinking. So if at all we will drink like that only, they cause harm to human beings, so that we have to remove those impurities. So here we will follow some steps to the treatment of drinking water. So first step is removal of suspended impurities, and suspended impurities are removed by the following methods. First one, screening. In screening, we will remove the large floating impurities by using screens. In plate sedimentation, we will remove the suspended impurities by keeping it for few hours. Then we allow to settle them. Then what happens? These suspended impurities will go and settle at the bottom of the tank. And what we are doing here, we are exposing to sunlight. As it is exposed to sunlight, some of the bacteria will be killed off. Next is coagulation. So here in coagulation, small suspended impurities are removed off by adding some chemicals. Okay, so those chemicals are called coagulants. So here potash alum is a coagulant used in the purification of water. So when you add potash alum to the water, it produces aluminum hydroxide, which is gelatinous in nature due to hydrolysis, that will remove the impurities. And after coagulation, what we will do? We will do filtration. So we will pass the water through the filter beds, which are made up of coke, sand, and gravel. This coke will remove the color and odor of the water, and the sand and gravel filter the water. So these are the steps to remove the suspended impurities. So after removing the suspended impurities, what we will do? We will do the removal of disease-causing microorganisms. So disease-causing microorganisms removal process is called as sterilization, and the water obtained is called sterile water. And these are the some of the sterilization methods. So first one is boiling. So if you boil water for 15 to 20 minutes, whatever the bacteria or microorganisms present in water, that will be killed off. So it is very simple method and most effective method, but it is not suitable for large amounts of water. Then aeration. So here also we will kill the microorganisms by exposing the water to the sunlight. So how we will expose? By sprinkling the water into the sunlight. So what? By sprinkling the water into the air. So whatever the UV rays present in the air, they will kill the bacteria or microorganisms. Then by passing ozone gas also will kill the bacteria. When we pass ozone gas, this O2 and O will be formed. This nascent oxygen will kill the bacteria. So by exposing to UV rays also we will kill the bacteria. This is most effective and costly method. This will done in swimming pools to purify the water. By adding oxidizing agents also we can kill the bacteria. It is done in well water. And at last is the chlorination. Okay. So by adding liquid chlorine or bleaching powder, we can purify the water. That is called chlorination. So these are the chemical reactions takes place when we add liquid chlorine or bleaching powder to the water. So this is one HOCl. So this, because of this only, bacteria is killed off. When it dissociates, it will produce nascent oxygen. This nascent oxygen will kill the bacteria. So our today's topic is osmosis and reverse osmosis. So we'll see those are the topics we discussed in the last class. So objectives. So after completion of this period, you would able to understand these topics. Definition of osmosis, definition of reverse osmosis, and advantages and disadvantages of reverse osmosis. So this one also you might have studied in the 10th standard. Okay, what is osmosis? Just definitions. What is osmosis? What is reverse osmosis? So today we will discuss this osmosis, reverse osmosis. So what is meant by osmosis? So the process of diffusion of solvent molecules from less concentrated solution to more concentrated solution through semi-permeable membrane is called osmosis. So what is meant by osmosis? Diffusion means movement of which molecule? Solvent, water molecules from less concentration, it means dilute solution, to more concentrated, very concentrated solution. Through what? Semi-permeable membrane. So here different membranes will be there. You might have studied in your lower classes. Membranes are three types: impermeable, permeable, and semi-permeable. Impermeable membrane means it will not allow any molecules to pass through it. Then permeable membrane means it will allow all the molecules to pass through it. Semi-permeable membrane means it selectively permits few molecules only to pass through it. So here which membrane we are using? Semi-permeable membrane. So through this semi-permeable membrane, which molecules are moving? Just solvent molecules. The process of diffusion of solvent molecules from less concentrated solution to more concentrated solution through semi-permeable membrane is called osmosis. So for example, if you take, so we will use here whiteboard. So here, so take two different solutions. So and these two different solutions are separated by one semi-permeable membrane. So this is the semi-permeable membrane. So this is diluted solution and this is concentrated solution. So that is less concentrated solution and more concentrated solution. In between these two solutions, that means we are separating these two solutions by semi-permeable membrane. Okay, this is semi-permeable membrane. Semi-permeable membrane. Okay, this is less concentrated solution. This is more concentrated solution. So this one is more concentrated solution. So when you keep semi-permeable membrane between these two solutions, what happens? The solvent molecules will move from less concentrated solution to more concentrated solution. That process is called as osmosis. Okay. So here we are taking two different solutions and we are separating it by a semi-permeable membrane. And what happening? The water molecules will diffuse from less concentrated solution to more concentrated solution. That process is called as osmosis. Okay. Then what is reverse osmosis? So come to reverse osmosis. In the name itself, reverse of osmosis is called as reverse osmosis. So the process of forcing of solvent from more concentrated to a less concentrated solution through semi-permeable membrane by applying pressure more than osmotic pressure is called reverse osmosis. So here what is happening? We are applying a pressure on more concentrated solution side. So what happens? So in case of osmosis, what it will? Reverse osmosis will take place. What is osmosis? Diffusion of solvent molecules from less concentrated solution to more concentrated solution. So it naturally happens. So if you want to do reverse osmosis, what you have to do? You have to apply pressure more than osmotic pressure. So on which side? On more concentrated solution side. Then what happens? The solvent molecules will move from more concentrated solution to less concentrated solution. The process is called as reverse osmosis. If you see here, so we have taken two solutions here, salt water and fresh water. So this is the pure water, this is the impure water. That means this is the dilute solution, this is the concentrated solution. That means this is more concentrated solution and this one is the, this is the less concentrated solution and this is the more concentrated solution. If you don't apply any pressure, generally what happens? Osmosis will take place. It naturally happens. So no need of applying any pressure, anything. So what happens? The solvent molecules will move from here to here. So if you want to do reverse osmosis, what you have to do? You have to apply pressure. So more than osmotic pressure. So during osmosis, some pressure develops there. Okay. So more than that osmotic pressure, you have to apply pressure externally. Then what happens? Reverse process will take place. So whatever the pure solvent molecules present in this salt water, they will diffuse from this semi-permeable membrane from this solution to this solution. That process is called as reverse osmosis. That means this reverse osmosis is applied the purification of salt water. It is removal of salts from seawater is called as desalination. So this reverse osmosis is applied in the purification of seawater, that is desalination of water. So this is called as reverse osmosis. Very simple. Osmosis means from here to here, less to low, less concentrated solution to more concentrated solution. So why we are saying more concentrated? Salt water means salts will be present, some impurities will be present, okay, some organic matter will be present. So that's why it is concentrated. Fresh water means no impurities, it is very fresh. Okay, that is dilute solution. So generally if you separate these two by semi-permeable membrane, generally what happens? Osmosis. But if you want to reverse osmosis, if you want to purify this water, you have to apply pressure on this salt water. And what happens? Pure water molecules, whatever here present, they will move into this fresh water. So that is called as reverse osmosis. So reverse osmosis is used in the purification of sea water. Okay. So this is about osmosis and reverse osmosis. Then come to applications of reverse osmosis. So what are the applications of reverse osmosis? Applications means uses, where it will be used. So first one, it is used in the purification of water. So to purify the water, we will use reverse osmosis. It is used in the purification of rainwater in industries. So in industries, we will purify the rainwater. Then it is used in desalination. Just now I told no, the removal of salts from sea water is called desalination. So by reverse osmosis, you can remove the salts from the sea water. Then it is used in food industry to concentrate fruit juices. So here in food industry, what we will do to concentrate fruit juices, we will use this reverse osmosis. And for production of protein and also used in wine industry. So for production of the protein also, we will use this reverse osmosis, and also used in wine industry also, we will use this reverse osmosis. Then it is used in dialysis process for the treatments of patients who are suffering from kidney failures. Okay. So kidney failure patients will be there for dialysis treatment. Okay. We will use this reverse osmosis process. The next, it is used in car washings, aquariums, production of hydrogen gas. So even this reverse osmosis is used in car washings, aquariums also, then production of hydrogen gas. So we can produce hydrogen gas by this reverse osmosis. So these are the some of the applications of reverse osmosis. Then come to the advantages of reverse osmosis. So what are the advantages of reverse osmosis? So first one, it does not involve any heating process. So in this process, we are using any heating process. So we are heating any solution? No. So no, any heating process is involved in this process. All types of particles are removed from water. So here in reverse osmosis, so what, when we apply pressure on salt water, what is happening here? Just two water molecules are diffused from here to here. It means whatever the particles present in this seawater, it may be salts, it may be colloidal particles, it may be silica, it may be organic matter, all the particles will be removed off in the reverse osmosis. That is main advantage of reverse osmosis. And it can be used to treat polluted water. Even polluted water also treated by this reverse osmosis. Then it is cheap and efficient method. It is very, very cheap. So any materials not required, just we need semi-permeable membrane, and it is very, very efficient method. The next, lifetime of semi-permeable membrane is very high. So we can use semi-permeable membrane maximum 1 year. This lifetime will be very high. Okay. So these are the some of the advantages of reverse osmosis. So what is first one? It does not involve any heating process. All types of particles are removed from water. It can be used to treat polluted water. Then it is cheap and efficient method. Lifetime of semi-permeable membrane is very high. So these are the advantages. And next you have disadvantages. By this reverse osmosis, you have some disadvantages. So these are very few disadvantages. So what are the disadvantages of reverse osmosis? We will see. The first one, household reverse osmosis recovered only 5 to 15% of water entering into the system. The remaining water is drained as wastewater and increase the load of septic tanks. So here in household reverse osmosis to purify water, so what is happening is, so only 5 to 15% of water which is entering into the system, that is recovered. The remaining water, total remaining percentage will be drained as waste, means that is removed as wastewater. And what is happening here? So septic tank load will be increasing. That is the main disadvantage of this. Means some of the water only recovered as a pure water and remaining will be removed as a wastewater. So due to that, what is happening? Septic tank load will be increasing. The next second one, it requires high strength of semi-permeable membranes as this process involves osmotic pressure and external pressure. So just now we said study note. So during osmosis, some pressure develops that is called as osmotic pressure. And in reverse osmosis, what we are doing here, external pressure we are applying. So due to that pressures, these semi-permeable membranes may undergo spoil or ruptures of semi-permeable may takes place. So that's why we have to take high strength semi-permeable membranes. Okay. So that's why this is main disadvantage. It requires very high strength of semi-permeable membrane. Generally semi-permeable membranes. So what we will use, cell membranes. Okay. That is parchment paper. Okay, those will be very high strength membranes will be required. Why this means? This process involves osmotic pressure as well as external pressure. So to withstand this osmotic pressure and external pressure, we require very high strength semi permeable membranes. So okay, what we discussed today in this period, what we have discussed, osmosis and reverse osmosis. So what is osmosis? The process of diffusion of solvent molecules from less concentrated solution to more concentrated solution through semi-permeable membrane is called osmosis. So what is reverse osmosis? The reverse of osmosis, the process of diffusion of solvent molecules from more concentrated solution to less concentrated solution. How? When we apply pressure more than osmotic pressure on more concentrated solution side. Okay. When you apply external pressure on more concentrated solution side, which is more than the osmotic pressure, then only water molecules will move from more concentrated solution to less concentrated solution through semi-permeable membrane. So that is called reverse osmosis. The semi-permeable membrane very important. Because of this membrane only osmosis is taking place, because this selectively permeates the molecules to pass through it. So which molecules are passing through the semi-permeable membrane? Only solvent molecules, water molecules are passing through this semi-permeable membrane. So applications, uses, where we will use in the purification of water, in the purification of rainwater, in the desalination process, in the food industry to concentrate fruit juices for production of protein, and also used in wine industry, the dialysis process for the treatments of patients suffering from kidney failures. Okay, then car washings, aquariums, production of hydrogen gas. So what are the advantages? It does not involve any heating process. All types of particles are removed from water. It can be used to treat polluted water. It's cheap and efficient, and lifetime of semi-permeable membrane is high. And disadvantage is household. Reverse osmosis requires only 5 to 15% water, and the remaining water will be removed as a wastewater. Due to that, load of septic tanks will be increased. And it requires very high strength semi-permeable membranes because it involves both osmotic pressure and external pressure. So these are the topics we discussed. So then come to the objective type questions. What type of objective type questions you will expect from this topic? So first, the plant roots absorbs water by. So how plant roots absorbs water? Either by osmosis or reverse osmosis or diffusion or respiration. So how they absorb water? By osmosis process only they will absorb water from the soil. Okay, then next. Pure water is obtained from seawater by, just now I have shown the diagram, no? So how we are getting pure water from seawater? Either by absorption or osmosis or reverse osmosis or filtration. Not absorption, not osmosis, not filtration. So what is reverse osmosis? How we are getting? I have shown here the figure, no? So from seawater, we are applying external pressure on seawater and we are keeping a semi-permeable membrane between these two and we are applying pressure on seawater. Then what is happening? Pure water is going into the fresh water. So like that we are getting the pure water from seawater by which process? Reverse osmosis. So answer is C. Next, the process of passage of solvent molecules from high concentrated solution to low concentrated solution by applying pressure. Okay, from high to low. So what is that called? Direct question. So that is a definition. So answer is C, reverse osmosis. So when solvent molecules are moving from high concentrated solution to low concentrated solution by applying pressure means answer is C, reverse osmosis. Okay, option C is the correct answer. Then next come to the fourth question. Which of the following molecules passes through a semi-permeable membrane during the process of osmosis? So during osmosis process, which molecules will pass through the semi-permeable membrane? If you know the definition, you can directly choose the answer. No need of thinking. So sodium ions, glucose ions, proteins, water. So what is the answer? Water. So water molecules will passes through the semi-permeable membrane during the process of solvent means water molecules. There we studied solvent molecules. So water molecules will move from through semi-permeable membrane during the process of osmosis. So answer is E. So this type of objective type questions you will expect from this topic. A very, very small topic, osmosis, reverse osmosis, its applications, advantages and disadvantages. Next come to questions. So what type of questions do you expect? So what is osmosis? What is reverse osmosis? What are the advantages of reverse osmosis? And you'll get what are the disadvantages, what are the applications. Okay, but maximum repeated questions I wrote here. So what is maximum times repeated these questions? For 1 mark or 3 marks. What are the advantages? Reverse osmosis for 3 marks. So what is osmosis? Explain reverse osmosis. You have to explain that diagram. You have to explain that one. So what is osmosis? So very, very important topics, these two. So osmosis definition, reverse osmosis definition and advantages. Okay. So in this period, we discussed osmosis, reverse osmosis, advantages and disadvantages and applications of reverse osmosis. So if you have any doubts, we will clarify your doubts in the next class. Then next class we will go to the what topic we will deal here. So here next last topic is defluoridation and desalination. So what is desalination here? Explain desalination process by reverse osmosis, they will ask. So explain desalination by reverse osmosis. You have to draw this diagram and you have to explain this one. So how reverse osmosis, how desalination is done means when fresh water and salt water is separated by semi-permeable membrane, then osmosis will take place. So, but what you want to do? You want to remove salts from salt water, seawater. Then what we have to do? We have to apply pressure, external pressure more than osmotic pressure so that solvent molecules from seawater will move to the fresh water so that you will convert seawater into pure water by reverse osmosis method. Okay. So with this we finish. Very, very important. What is desalination and explain desalination. Or they can ask write about reverse osmosis. So here definitions. and explanation, advantages, disadvantages. Okay. So with this we finish osmosis and reverse osmosis topic. So thank you, students.